And you're live.
My fellow Americans. All right, toggle week 1. I provided everyone with notes, just some notes that I took based on lecture and primarily lab, and then I completed the Atlas chart save for torque because we haven't gone over that yet. So if you look at the notes that I provided, first section is 3 parts of toggle X-ray analysis. There's just 3 things that you want to look at when you look at an X-ray. I'm not sure how closely we need to know this, but I'll go over it briefly. First one is to scrutinize. So you want to find anomalies, patient malposition, pathology, fractures, dislocations. Next you want to look at the misalignment. You're going to look at a Atlas axis comparison, and from that you'll be able to determine a misalignment. And then you want to consider part 1, things that you scrutinized. And it should be done quickly as far as determining the misalignment. And the third part is to determine. You're going to look at the X-rays separately and determine stance, contact point, line of drive, and torque. And a few other things, but those are the basics. And a way to remember that, should we need it for the test, is spinographs to make determinations. Next thing would be, as far as when you're looking to make a listing, if you look at your notes as well, there's 4 letters. First letter is A, second letter is S or I, third letter is L or R, left or right. Fourth letter is A or P, anterior or posterior. And for A, it hasn't really gone over yet as far as how you determine whether it's A or P, or is it always A? Oh, sorry. Second letter, S or I. You're going to look at the lateral X-ray, and if it's, when looking at the lateral X-ray, if it's inferior, you should have an angle less than 8 degrees. If it's superior, an angle less, or between 8 to 18 degrees. If it's superior plus, it should be greater than 18 degrees. And then when you're looking to make your third letter, your left or right, you're going to look at the APOM, the laterality, remember, is on the side of closed wedge. Okay, and from your APOM, from your LRR that you get from that, your left or right, you should be able to determine which side of the patient is up. It should be the same. If it's left laterality, left side of the patient's up. Right laterality, right side of the patient is up on the table. Fourth letter is A or P. You're looking at the vertex-based posterior X-ray, and for that, you can gather C1 rotation. Normal's 90 degrees. A would be less than 90 degrees. P would be greater than 90 degrees. Okay? And from your second letter, that's going to give you your torque, whether it be counterclockwise or clockwise. And from your third letter, you're going to get, like I said, which side is up. There's a few things that we definitively need to know for the test. That's something you want to do in class, is listen and put stars next to things that he tells you to write down, because most likely they're going to be a test question. And the list of those for this week were hole in 1. Remember that the hole is the neural canal of the atlas. The 1 is the dens. Remember number 2, lateral part of the cord innervates a lower part of the body. Remember, lateral part of the cord, lower body. Number 3 would be discovered atlas subluxation. Who did that? Albert Wurmsing discovered atlas subluxation. Okay, and then the 4th and final for this week would be axis subluxation, axis adjustment. That was the original title of BJ's book, which was later renamed to the subluxation specific, the adjustment specific. And one of the other things that we talked about in class was the significance of MOPI. That's what a subluxation is to us in toggle, a MOPI. And the M stands for misalignment, the O stands for occlusion. You'll find both of those on X-ray. The P stands for pressure, the I stands for interference. You're going to see those on instrumentation and leg check. As far as the reading for this week, unfortunately, I wasn't able to complete all of the reading, but there are 6 questions that you should focus on. The first being, why include the court case Roscoe versus the state of California? The second, why talk about Ford and Edison? The third, what was BJ seeking in the writing of this book? The fourth, who was BJ's audience? The fifth, the person's reading this book, the audience, how did they practice? And the sixth, how does the NCM fit into the picture and be specific as possible? So far, what I've been able to gather for number 3, what was BJ seeking in writing this book? If you look on page 14 of the book, you'll see he wants to start proving chiropractic works. So he's looking to show some proof in this book. And he also, to explain the latest chiropractic development, HIO, hole-in-one. Because at the time, most people would be what you consider full spine or a mixer. And unfortunately, that's all I have for this week, but I'll email you guys the rest.